This is the Real Good Procast with your hosts, Declan DeBarb, Ian Blumenthal, and Marshall Heath.
Welcome, everyone, to the Real Good Procast. My name, Declan DeBarp, as always. To my left, Ian Blumenthal. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, boys? It's pretty good.
Marshall Keeley to my right. How's it going?
You know, good and bad days in Ottawa.
Mostly bad, but like we'll go with whatever you said.
I mean,
Two-game win streak. It's not the worst thing in the
well, I'm
world.
proud of you. Where's
Thank
the
you.
playoffs?
Where's Stanley Cup?
Where's the pick?
At least you're not going to be last place and then give. Wait, yeah, you are. Never mind. I lied.
Okay, so we're going to start the podcast off like this. So
It always starts.
Are we doing
off-
Ottawa or
you should've-
Toronto first?
You shouldn't have attacked us. Let's start in Toronto.
Okay, thank you.
So I think on the last show, I think we can say we were reactionary.
You're pretty pissed off. What was going on? Buds were not going good.
They were not going good, but they're going quite well.
Buds
I have to say.
not all day. Not gonna lie.
Not all day, but back to all day.
Now we're all day, bro.
programming. All day programming.
Now we show up at the beginning of the games now, which is like a first for even also the entire season. Freddie and Sparksy have looked kind of iffy still, but they're gonna get their lives back under them.
Well, I don't know if you saw this. Freddie's set to start tonight after looking a little like he got a little bit roughed up in Florida. We'll touch on it a little bit later. There was a long Babs quote. There's a long Babs quote about it following the Florida game. If you guys didn't see, he got ran a couple of times. Justin Hall did a very, very dumb thing to do. And
Dumb, bad. No.
and he sits tonight. But I just I wonder, what do you think is the reason as to why we've bounced back? We played a great game against Buffalo. Matthews looked like he could have scored 90 goals.
It's because Matty baby.
Against the Rangers, I think we could have also scored 90 goals, but we got Georgiev.
He's just like poison for us.
Can we just trade for Georgiev so that doesn't happen?
Like honestly, like we don't have to start him. We don't have to play him ever. But just like trade for him and then send him down
So
to
just
Myers.
ruin his career because he
Yes.
had 2 good games against you.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck
Okay.
that
At
guy.
one point,
Fair
he
enough.
had saved 69 straight shots. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
It was
I mean,
more than that, but
And I mean, against Florida, they came out red hot. They scored 3 goals in the first period for the first time since they played the
4.
New Jersey Devils.
scored 4
Did
in
they
the
get
first
4?
week.
Okay.
They got 2 though.
Yes.
It was 4-2
yes,
at the end of the first.
Yes. You are right, my friend.
Yeah, but you know who didn't get any points? Alexander Barkov.
Who
Or
has,
Austin Matthews.
who has been consistently
got an
named
assist, I
the
take
most
it back.
underrated player by NHL players.
Which means he's no
No,
longer the
he
most
had
underrated player.
1 assist. He had 1 assist throughout the game
Matty
in
did
the
have
first
1
period.
assist.
No, both of them.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah,
I'm,
but
I'm happy for you.
I'm pissed off because Matthews should have scored like 5 times, like in both of these games. He's so good. But you know who did score 4 times? John Tavares, because he's a leave. What?
But I mean, if you looked at the post game, I don't think you could tell that.
No, yeah. Man, John Tavares was like not even selling, and those
He
were
was
also the easiest goals
unfazed.
ever.
Unfazed.
Don Cherry is so hard for him right now because he's just not
Good
just
Canadian
not
kid.
doing anything.
Just a good Canadian kid. He doesn't
Don't
go
show-
out there and he doesn't embarrass
no
the team.
showboating. No showboating.
He plays karma hockey. He plays karma right hockey.
And Patrick Marleau does his dad selly when he scores. That,
Just
like,
the hot damn.
Wow.
But
But
It's like Mario.
I
But
don't
to
know.
be fair, his kids, along with Austin and Mitch, really respect him for doing that.
No, 100%. 100%.
Along with Austin and Mitch. Okay.
Well, also his kids.
Yeah,
I mean-
man, if Nylander was here for that stuff, like that would have been hype too.
Why?
Yes,
What
he
happened
would've
with
been one of
Nylander?
them.
Did something happen with Nylander this season?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. I think he was just out. I think he was just out TAing, and that's why he wasn't. And that's why he wasn't with the team. He
They
was
don't
out.
like blonde people.
He was out TAing. Did you see the picture of him from the press conference a couple of days ago?
Oh,
Leafs
the dumb
Twitter tore
beanie?
him apart. Tore him apart.
His beanie was like on like. And he was like with his fucking glasses. You're like, oh my god, hipster.
Nylander's transformation from fantastic hockey player to history TA has been an
He looked like
an
a
amazing
Swedish
adventure.
Where's Waldo.
No, where's Waldo has a pom pom on his hat.
Yeah, it's Swedish though.
Oh,
That's why I added the Swedish
okay,
part.
okay. I like it. But like he didn't have a striped shirt, bro. What is this? Like amateur hour for Waldo?
I mean, the
in
glasses
Sweden?
and hat. Well,
Man,
hey.
Swedish Waldo sucks.
I mean, yeah. How many goals does he have in the last 20 games?
Why don't you suck my dick?
How many points do you guys have in the last 20 games?
L.
More than Nylander, but
I don't
For-
think so.
for
Nylander
the
gets a lot
record-
of assists.
for the record, I'm not just saying. If the only thing that you ever have for a comeback against me for pointing out Toronto's, fair enough flaws is whataboutism, then good luck against Boston.
I'm not concerned. I've accepted my fate. It's like a paper due the next morning that I haven't started. I'm just like, well, I'll figure it out eventually.
So like every paper ever.
Every single one, including the one I wrote yesterday.
And the one that's going to be wrote tonight for tomorrow.
Hey. That I'm just making stuff up.
Isn't that your journalism paper?
It's about Brexit.
Okay.
They're doing the same thing.
Hey, Brexit. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Just making it up on the
just
go.
fuck some stuff up and then like try to fix it later.
Sorry, guys.
Apology knocks that's it, but please
Get out
continue.
of here. You're not invited to the podcast anymore.
Okay.
No coughing. If you cough on the podcast, you're cut.
I'll just leave.
Why do you think Seb doesn't talk?
Okay, guys.
Great.
Okay. So
Great.
next.
So why don't we touch on the Anderson thing we teased a little bit at the start. So Freddie not looking 100%. I don't know if he's tired or he's hurt. Freddie has played through injury this year once, just around Christmas time.
Stupid.
It is stupid. But Babs this morning said this at practice, and he said, "Fred's not 12. He's a man." So we went through it with him. And what do you want? What do you need? And what are we going to do to help you? The whole he goes on and he talks about helping him find his swagger, playing him in a couple of games. And what do you guys think? I know we talked a little bit about rest a couple of weeks ago, and that we are in favor of resting Freddie going into the playoffs. But I mean, Freddie has looked a little shaky. Do you guys think we should play him out, let him feel the puck a little bit more going into the postseason, or the only thing that matters is the postseason?
I think
those two things don't disagree with each other.
Well, it's if you would continue to play him in the games leading up.
I think you do it with respect to just basic, knowledge on when, like, you don't have him play back to back. You don't maybe have him play the obvious needed games. But when I look at the points, they're 5 games behind Boston, and they're 6 points up on Montreal. So their place is pretty much solidified. It'd be hard to go one way or the other. So
yeah, but
if you can, but it'd be hard to. And they're playing back to where they should be, so they shouldn't drop down. Do you think that it's worthwhile to force Freddie to play so much to get home ice against Boston? Think that one game made the difference to maybe overdo his workload? Because that's, I think,
the one thing we haven't tried against Boston is having home ice advantage.
if that's the difference, then
And like, there's a lot of things we haven't tried against Boston, like being good.
well, yeah, that is fair.
Being good.
Well, like, I don't know, like when we play them, we're not good. We're pretty trash. Not gonna lie. Like, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I will stand with you on that.
Freddie-
Hill. We threw away the series last year. We 100% should have won Game 4. The game Bergeron didn't play. That's when we lost the series.
Well, Freddie's
not in Game 7, not in Game 6,
And when we were
not
at
in Game
home,
5.
you can't lose at home.
Yep.
That's when you lose a series, when you lose at home.
But Freddie's at 56 games now, 6 games to go. So he plays every single one.
62.
That's 62. He's not going to play every single one. He could play 5. Do you think he should play 5?
Play
'Cause-
4, play 3.
Yeah, play 4, I think. 4 and 2, that's
Play
safe.
the last game before the playoffs.
Definitely.
Tampa and
play
Montreal
this
is the
game
last
'cause
couple
he's
of
playing
games
this
that we have, by the way. Tampa.
Don't play against Tampa. Play against Montreal. Man, like, we don't need to beat Tampa.
Yeah, and that also helps confidence, winning. Because you have a better chance of winning
destroy
against...
Montreal.
Okay, well, don't...
Montreal playing for their playoff lives that night, most likely. I think it's Montreal's in for a tough little stress. They have some of the best teams in the league compared to Columbus, who don't. Montreal will definitely be playing for their playoff lives
But, like,
that night. But I think
so
I
be
agree.
You play Philly, you play him against Philly.
I would
and-
not play him tonight against Philly.
Like, I wouldn't, but we do.
Well, you play him
So
against...
I'm saying, for what we can decide for the 5 games after that, is play him 2 of the 5.
Well, Ottawa's won the game, so yes. And then it's back-to-back against Islanders and Carolina, so it's one of those 2. I would say probably
Against
play
who in Carolina?
Yeah, the Islanders.
Islanders.
Oh,
And
okay.
Tampa is on...
Last trip to Nassau.
And then it's Tampa. So it's day off from after Carolina. Then it's Tampa, day off, then
Play him
Montreal.
on the Carolina game and
Play
play
him-
him on the Montreal
So
game.
basically, you go every other game. Then you go
Yeah, pretty much.
Ottawa, Carolina, Montreal.
Give him a little bit of break, man. Like, he still can feel at the puck with 3 games, practice, and then playoffs.
As long as Freddie's not hurt going to the hurt or tired, I don't care.
And it's not the turnaround from regular season playoffs is enormous. Like,
No, and they should have a couple of days off. They finish up and play. I believe the playoffs start on the 10th, and I don't know
they
if
play on the 6th. I'd be surprised if the Leafs don't play first game against Boston. I don't know what that is, but I just
it'll either. I believe it's either the 10th or the 11th. But no, I think you're right. Measured takes here, guys. This is exactly what we're looking for. Great podcasting. Just yeah, we.
if you want me to yell, I can yell during Melnyk. I'm not
Well, I
going to
mean
yell
that's
during
what we were
Toronto.
about to get
Fuck the playoff
on
format.
to.
Fuck the playoff format.
We
Yeah,
can also talk about that. But
Suck my dick.
I agree.
okay.
I agree. Why don't
With all
What-
due respect.
Why don't we move on to Ottawa and just to set this up? Melnyk had a week for himself. He went both on CFRA 580 and more notoriously on the Fan 590. He went on.
He went on not only Toronto media, he went on rival media from the media that that broadcasts all the games, television and radio, that pays him over $30 million a year. Decides to go to the rival market, rival media. So great start right off the get-go. Way to be.
He then followed that up by throwing fans under the bus. Say, for our fans that are real fans, we're here. We're doing the best we can.
Run!
So not the 12-year-old in Montreal, in Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah, 12-year-old in Toronto. That's the one that riled everything up. There's no disconnect at all, Melnyk. Of course there isn't.
I don't know what he means by the real fans, the ones that shut up and don't criticize him.
No, the
or-
ones that don't show up to games.
Which one? Because
There's no fans show up to games. They don't have fans.
all 6 of them. All 6 in Marshall.
Yeah, we're all going to carpool to Belleville for the rest of the year because that's where our team is.
I get carpool.
Joke. So yeah, where do you want to start with this?
I don't know. I would just like to finish setting this up. He also called out noted nice guy, and I've only heard good things about Ian Mendes.
Never a
Loved
bad
in the
word.
Ottawa community.
Never a bad word.
He also went as far after Melnyk called him Bush League, which is the quote, to post a picture from when his daughter was having brain surgery.
2 years ago.
2
Yep.
years ago.
One
to
of many brain surgeries, I should add.
to a gift basket that Melnyk said. I have.
Bunch of Sens memorabilia, hats, sweater, pink, red, all different stuff. Had a nice note signed.
I have so much respect for a guy like Ian Mendes.
What a dickhead. Like, he's such a dickhead. Holy shit.
Melnyk?
Fuck you, Melnyk. No,
Okay.
obviously not Ian Mendes.
Just want to be sure. And of course, the bad luck of it is that on the day that this stuff came out, Ian Mendes was not on the radio, so we couldn't get the fresh take from him. But yeah, and then you also had other stuff. If you want to continue
Yes, I
teeing
did.
this up.
He also threw Dorian under the bus. He said that it was fully his decision to fire Boucher, which I don't understand if it was just his idea. And lastly, he took a shot at Toronto, 6th place Toronto compared to 31st place Ottawa, and said mistakes were made along their rebuild,
Sixth
and
place
somebody
Toronto.
forgot about defense.
Should also add
Now.
right after that defensing, he then said, in the next 6 months, Dorian and his team had better get their act together. Like, that's one hell of a sentence to throw Toronto 37 points at the time above you under the bus, and then throw your guy under the bus.
Now, granted, the Leafs have forgotten their right side of defense, but at least we brought the other components. I think Eugene has forgotten his entire team when building
Except
it.
for Thomas Chabot and
And-
Marshall Healy.
Thank you.
Also,
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, Brady Kachuk.
Can we mention Brady Kachuk
Same
cut his
guy.
hair and no longer looks as much like Marshall, and it hurts me?
I'll get my hair cut. Don't worry.
Please,
We'll
can you
fix
just
this.
can you just keep that going?
Do the same thing. Just bring a picture of Brady Kachuk with you, and like with his new haircut, and be like this.
He's like the same cut. I'm sure if you walked in and said to the barber the same cut as I got last time and brought a picture of Brady Kachuk, he wouldn't even realize.
Well, my barber's on maternity leaves right now, so it's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a time to get my haircut
Find a
again.
new barber.
No.
No.
What is wrong with you?
Do I look?
find an
do I
interim
look?
barber.
Do I look like I go to First Choice, whatever the hell that is? No, I have a person.
So do I. Dan, shout out. But
Man, Amanda's the best. She's the only person who cuts my hair good.
I have two people that cut my hair for my entire life. Anyway, Melnyk.
Melnyk, Marshall, why don't you go off? I think you've had this going for a while. Unfortunately, you missed the podcast when
Shit really hit the fan.
when shit hit the fan. That was one we missed from you. It was just level takes here, just throwing shit at
Yes.
Eugene. But I mean, not from the heart of a fan, Marshall.
I mean, Eugene, or sorry, Mr. Melnyk, as Mr. Douchebag would like to be called.
Sorry, asshole.
It's just
My friend.
I just want to I just want to also get out of the way about Ian Mendes. There is literally not a better journalist in sports in Ottawa, Ontario. He is class act. He is fair. He is reasonable, and he tells, and he talks how the fans are thinking.
Also, Ian Mendes, Carleton grad, and really, really receptive to students.
He is so
Only
receptive.
heard good things.
Yeah, and he just to call him Bush League, and also the act that
the school.
he
Plug the
called
school.
Bush League, he never actually did, because he had Dorian on the radio and he was going to play a clip of an upset fan, and then he never actually did. So he never actually did the quote unquote Bush League thing Melnyk said he did. So first off, he's just fucking wrong. And then also call Mendes Bush League jackass asshole move. So he can just go fuck himself right there. I'm done with Melnyk. If it was not for the Sens and like Chabot and Tkachuk, who have no bearing, they have no say in what Melnyk does. If it was not for them and Formanton and everyone else coming up, I would be so done with the Sens. And I have said publicly that the moment Chabot and Tkachuk are gone, I will be done, and I'll be buying either a Dustin Byfuglien or Wheeler jersey for the Jets because that will be my team.
Why not Mark freaking Scheifele?
Because I always go for the second best guy.
Okay.
So that's why. Dustin Byfuglien's like third best at this
Okay,
point.
so you're saying Scheifele's better than Wheeler. Who's better than Byfuglien? Who's better than Laine?
Well, Laine's not been great this year. So
he
that's
still
also
has like 29 goals, which is ridiculous.
It's not
also-
enough
yeah.
goals for
For-
Laine,
well,
caliber player.
no.
That's not enough goals.
No, I know, but I think it speaks to the regard we keep Laine in. I don't like. Yes, he's been having a bad season. He scored all of his goals in like, I don't know, a month stretch. He scored all of his goals in November. I have him in fantasy, and I picked him above Austin Matthews. That's where I
Way to
lost.
go.
You stupid.
I also just want to say that Melnyk, he's and Dorian. There's no fan disconnect that they say. There's nothing. There is absolutely a disconnect. If you're gonna go on Toronto radio, and like you have publicly stated you will not go on TSN 1200, which everyone in Ottawa that is a Sens fan will go to listen to, and it's just you're just so. I think the scariest thing also is that they think they're actually doing the right thing.
Do you think that they're doing that?
I'm not sure about Dorian. I know Melnyk. I think Dorian is just doing this to an extent to keep his job and save his
what
ass.
time do you quit? Because I mean, I brought it up before.
Well, he's divorced with kids, so he needs to pay. He needs money. He needs a
Melnyk?
check. No, Dorian.
Oh.
Because he brought the whole thing. Because he brought up the whole thing about when you get divorced, you just get a new girlfriend. That's the analogy he gave to fans when Stone was traded. You just have to get a new girlfriend. Like, just don't be
statement.
so tone deaf
That's
that
a
you're just gonna say that
stupid
and say it's the
statement.
best day of your GM career when it is in no way the best day of his day. That
What,
is just so
Dorian?
stupid. Yeah, he said when he traded Stone, that was his best day as a GM.
Eugene Melnyk and Pierre Dorian are chicken shit. They are chicken shit. Melnyk is chicken shit for going on Toronto radio, not having the balls to address his fans. Well, I mean, he'd like to think that there are no real fans because I think that he doesn't quite like criticism. I think that
What makes you say that, Declan?
I mean, just the track record of everything he's done. I think it speaks incredibly to the job that Brian Murray, thank you.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, the job he did managing up. And, I mean, once again, it looks like the Senators are looking to find somebody who can manage Eugene Melnyk. They're out looking for a leader of hockey ops.
That is the problem. That was the single biggest problem when Brian Murray was diagnosed with cancer and then subsequently had to step down, and then when he eventually passed away. I've never been a quote unquote #Melnyk out guy, but I've also said since 2011 that as long as Melnyk is the owner, they will never win a Stanley Cup. And I don't think I'm wrong at this point.
#Melnyk out.
Yeah,
I'm
at
on
this
that
point,
train right now. I've never heard of that, but like, let's go.
there's billboards in Ottawa that
Oh,
say
really?
that. Yeah. A huge thing.
Down by Lee's.
It's been a huge thing.
Oh,
So,
I don't go outside.
but there's Brian Murray was the person that like he did not answer to Melnyk outside of money issues. Like if he wanted to trade Danny Heatley, he did not have to get Melnyk's permission.
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted to sign somebody for a certain amount of money, yes, but that happens with every organization when there's money involved.
Yeah.
But he was able to separate Melnyk, the owner, from Melnyk, the over-interested Jerry Jones, Al Davis owner. And there was a story that during 2012, I think, in the playoffs in New York, there was a bad game or something, and Melnyk wanted to go into the dressing room, and Brian Murray was basically just had to stop short of physically stopping him, and he was able to keep him out of the dressing room. And that Pierre Dorian couldn't do that to save his life. If Melnyk wanted to walk in the room, Pierre would say, "Yes, please, thank you, sir. Have a nice day."
Thank you,
he
Mr. Melnyk.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Melnyk,
No
always.
backbone.
And it's just because he knows that he'll be
'Cause
fired.
He's a spineless fuck.
I will be surprised if Dorian has a job next trade deadline, because Melnyk has already said 6 months. I don't know what Dorian can do in 6 months other than draft, because he has no other assets to trade other than Bobby Ryan, which at this point he'd be lucky to get a 6th round for. So it's just so bad.
Do you remember when we were like this in 2013? before we started having fun.
I
But we
do.
also haven't had fun.
But also, I'd like to correct what we were talking about with Patrick Laine. He has 30 goals.
Oh, wow. 30 goal scorer. Patrick Laine.
30. What is it? Patrick Kane
And-
is a 4-time 30 goal scorer.
And how
Well, now
many
he is.
Yeah.
and how many this calendar year are from Patrick Laine? I would say 10.
I think he has less than Nick Patan.
Ouch. Patrick Laine, like there
no,
are people.
this year.
This calendar year.
There are people
He
on-
doesn't have very many.
I'm pretty sure there are
Nick
people.
Patan does not have that, but he has 5 goals in 1 game, which already puts him past Nick Patan. I'm pretty sure.
No, but that was in November.
Yeah, no, I'm
no,
pretty.
it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
100% it was in
I'm
November.
pretty sure
Man,
this
I'm so
calendar year,
confused.
there are more people in Ottawa with goals than Patrick Laine.
I think he has. I think it's less than 5. Can you figure that out?
Like Oscar Lindbergh, Anthony Duclair, people that got like trade deadline area have scored a lot.
But I mean, why don't we stay on topic, boys? So Ottawa out looking for a head of hockey ops. They've apparently, according to Elliot Friedman, been in contact with Dean Lombardi. He's
Won't
vice.
happen.
It won't happen. He said he's not leaving, but vice president of hockey ops out in Calgary. And I mean, there's the thought that that job is not one that you would take. There's only 31 of those jobs. Elliot Friedman mentioned that.
kind
and
of-
they're coveted. But I ask you this question: would you want that job?
If you haven't worked in a couple years, maybe. Like if you're Peter Chiarelli and you're not going to be getting a GM job next, maybe. Peter Chiarelli also has a connection to Ottawa, so there is reason for him to come back here, I would think. That being said, I don't think he will, and I don't want the second and first worst GMs running the same.
Why would you put that in the world?
I wasn't the person who put it in there. I've heard it already.
God.
It has been said already.
Okay,
But
this is very actually scary. Okay, you guys continue, but like looking at Laine's stats this year,
not great.
holy, he has 6 this calendar year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm
He
pretty
had
sure,
18 in November,
Yep.
I said I think.
and then he had
I think-
3 in December, 1 in January, 4 in February, and 1 in March.
I remember the night he scored in January. It was an event.
But he scored like 3 games in a row in January. He had 2-1-1. Like on the last 3 games of January. So everyone's like, oh, Laine's got his mojo back. Like, let's go. Psych, you thought. Like, nope.
I
Not
trust
today.
he'll figure out, but this is not.
Okay, sorry. I ducked that off topic, but I just like that blew my mind with how terrible he's doing. I didn't actually know it was to this scale. Oh my God. All of his goals are in November.
It's been a rough year for Laine.
Yep.
So Marshall, would
I think-
you take that job? Would you take the head of hockey operations with the Ottawa Senators?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm already
not.
pretty busy with schoolwork at Carleton, so I don't know. But I think at the end of the day, you would take that job if you either are A, over 60 and have nothing to lose, B, under 40 and have something to prove, or C, are Peter Chiarelli and need a fucking job. Outside of those 3 categories, who in their right
Are
sane
Peter
mind
Chiarelli.
wants to have to, like you have to go into that interview and you have to tell Melnyk, I am in charge. You do not tell me what to do.
And
And
Melnyk's
if
going
he's-
to go, no.
And then you walk out the door and you say, "Thanks for the interview. I enjoyed my flight to Ottawa. Now I'm going to leave and never come back." Because there's no reason to. Also, I should say, Peter Chiarelli,
To come back to Ottawa or to
Left.
work for this organization?
who? Well, call him A, call him B. Peter Chiarelli, also, it is unlikely because he and Melnyk don't get along great. Chiarelli was there before Melnyk came around.
No one gets along with Melnyk.
Well, Chiarelli was there before Melnyk was around, and then Melnyk kind of pushed him out. So there's issues there to begin with. So like I said, it almost just need to be somebody with nothing to prove or everything to prove.
I don't touch that job with
A 10-foot pole.
with a 10-foot pole.
Man, I'd do it. I make mad cash, bro.
You know you wouldn't. You work under Melnyk.
Yeah. Where's he getting the money to pay you?
Man, you're still making money.
Pharmaceuticals and
How
horse
much money
drugs.
you make? Exactly.
But how much money do the Senators make?
More than you.
Can I just thank Toronto for revenue sharing because that's the only reason we still have a team.
Yeah, which is why you're getting paid regardless. It's a safe job. It's not like you're not going to get paid.
Yeah. Thank
Like,
you.
even if Ottawa can't pay you, it's backed up by the NHL. Like, there's job security.
Thank you, Brendan Shanahan, for paying for Pierre Dorian's salary. Someone needs to, apparently. Don't know why, but someone needs to. I think, honestly, a more pressing issue outside of hockey ops is the actual coach. Because you have a dozen and a half young people, young players, who are going to need to be coached and mentored properly. Otherwise, you will screw up their development, and it will be worthless.
And do you
all
want
these draft picks.
an old coach that knows what he's doing, or do you want a young coach that can grow and get better with the players?
I
Because
think you need a best case scenario, honestly, Mark Crawford's not doing that right now. You need an older coach who has adapted to this day and age, because he will have
Gwendol?
'cause honestly, Jacques Martin is
Okay.
because he's been to Ottawa already. He's a great teacher. I think he could do it. He's already won a cup, so he's got that off his back. I in Pittsburgh, the second time around.
Not what I was wondering.
I don't. It won't be Troy Mann because they won't screw up what's going on in Belleville, and then they'll lose him again like they lost Luke Richardson to Montreal. Also, Montreal, hell of an assistant coach lineup. Someone will be poaching them real soon.
Montreal?
Yeah, they have really good assistant coaches. But I think I would be surprised if it's either not Mark Crawford to save money or Jacques Martin. Those are my two best guesses right now.
Well, they're going to get paid anyways because Brendan Shanahan's going to pay them.
Like I said, thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Sheriff Shanny.
Sheriff. Yeah, no, he's
Barros is the new guy.
No. But I'm saying like there's a like who's the sheriff and who's it's the Shanaplan Lou. Oh, it's not Lou anymore. Never mind. It's Dubas. Because there's a song that like I know by this guy Adam
Great
Jessen.
song.
Yeah, like Canadian kids or whatever. It's about like when the Leafs like made the playoffs for that first time, and it was so fire. It was such a fire up song.
I haven't been happy about the Leafs. That was the happiest moment, but let's not drag that back.
Making the playoffs that one time.
I think about somebody like Troy Mann, who's currently the coach at Belleville.
Doing
And
a
I
great
mean-
job there. They're almost going to make a playoffs, hopefully.
And I mean, we talk about it a lot in Toronto, the possibility of bringing Sheldon Keefe up to the big times. Now, you build a program with the minor league. What do you think about the idea of bringing up a guy like Troy Mann to come up and coach the guys? He knows all of them from Belleville, and like you said, your whole team is in Belleville.
I'm gonna
the
think
Senators have a good pipeline. They've drafted well. The main issue is keeping your players.
Oh yeah, no. The Ottawa has always had good draft picks, like with Carlson, with Shabbat, with Chuck. They've never, I don't think, had a major bust this century. If I want to put on my Melnyk cap, I'll think, Troy Mann. Yeah, he'd be cheaper. Sure, let's do him.
Well, that's why I bring it up. I think that I like vaguely recall that he was talked about as like an next big thing. He's coached at a bunch of levels, mainly the A. He's bounced between the A and the ECHL. He was previously the coach of the Hershey Bears, who I believe is the minor league affiliate of Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Providence is.
Or is it Washington?
I don't know, but Providence is for Boston.
I believe.
I know that.
I believe the Bears
Or
are
Maine.
Washington.
Providence. Man.
But there you had a couple of successful seasons as their coach, and I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily a bad idea if it fits your budget as Eugene Melnyk. You wouldn't have to go out and pay the likes that you would have to go get a free agent coach. I think that it makes a lot of sense. He knows your players in the system, and he had, like I said, he has that relationship there. So I think it makes a lot of sense to go that route rather than go someone free agent. What do you guys think?
I think it works. I mean, I don't see an issue on the surface about it. There is a difference between developing AHL and developing and then there's a difference between fostering in the AHL and then developing and playing in the NHL.
Yeah.
And I don't think it helps Troy Mann's case where you've had people like Dallas Aikens and others come up and then flame out and now have to go back or take assistant coaching jobs. That being said, he's cheap. Or he will be cheaper, definitely than Jacques Martin. Probably than Mark Crawford. I would imagine. No, he will be cheaper than Mark Crawford. I'm trying to think who'll be cheaper between Crawford and Martin. It's hard to say. Because, again, it all comes down to money for Melnyk. That's why you have to think when thinking about who's going to be the coach and who's going to be hockey ops.
Melnyk is fucked.
In what way? Multiple ways? Because, yes.
In every way possible. But when you're looking at this coaching job, like, it's... You want to go through the system, but also a free agent coach. That's probably how it's going to go. It's probably going to be... Like, I could totally see Jacques Martin.
That's I would want him. That being said...
That's who you want, but it might not be who it is.
Crawford's not doing bad. He's been doing... He has done... It's been better with him. He's actually playing the rookies an appropriate amount, and they're playing well. You have people that have just come in, like Lindbergh and Gibbons and Duclair, and there's been very few games where at least one of them has not scored.
Yeah, but Duclair is a case in every team he goes to. He's always good at the beginning, and then he's trash. So we'll see.
Well, you never know. Scenarios like with Galcheck and Domi just takes a different area, and then all of a sudden...
5 different teams.
Duclair's been on five
Five
different
teams. Yep.
We talked about this.
We talked about this.
I didn't realize.
already.
I forgot it was 5. But that being said,
So
if
I
you
don't.
can get him
I don't
cheap,
believe.
if you can get him cheap for 1 or 2 years, considering you're not going to be paying well for 3 years,
Yeah.
why not do it if you're Ottawa?
100%. I completely agree with you.
He's been good enough with Ottawa that he deserves 2 years at a good price.
Okay, guys. I think at this point we're
Yeah.
just talking ourselves
Into a circle.
in circles here in Ottawa. I think it's a situation that we've come back to a number of times, and one that Marshall is clearly
So
not all
Washington.
right
But
about.
talking
But-
about the Sens, though.
So Washington.
But why don't we go from one shit show to another in Edmonton?
Okay, that works.
Now this broke just after we finished up the show on Friday, and it's Bob Nicholson. So,
Dumbass. Just
Bob
stupid,
Nicholson.
stupid comments.
Bob Nicholson, the GM of the Edmonton Oilers, came in from Hockey Canada, which is not the same thing. I think there's some differences. Nobody wants to go play for the Oilers. A lot of people want to go play for Team Canada. There's not a lot of competition, and it seems like he doesn't really know what he's doing. But
McDavid wants to play for the Oilers.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
But I want to read you these things about noted Edmonton Oiler Tobias Reeder, who
Noted.
I would just like to say plays on the fourth line. That'll be important a little bit later. I'm not sure if you guys saw this. So Toby Reeder will not be signed by the Edmonton Oilers at the end of the season. Toby Reeder was a player that other teams wanted. He came here for 1 year because he wanted to play with Leon Draisaitl, who he plays with on the German national team. He thought if he wasn't playing with Leon, he'd be playing with Connor. He'd score 15 to 16 goals instead of making $2 million, he'd sign a instead of making $2 million, he'd sign a four-year deal at $3.5 million. Tobias Reeder hasn't scored a goal. Toby Reeder has missed so many breakaways. If Tobias Reeder would have scored 10 or 12 goals, we'd probably be in the playoffs.
LOL.
Now, I saw this on Twitter.
Good one.
I don't know who, but somebody went back and spent the actual time to go through and
Add goals.
and add Tobias Reeder's goals. I want to ask you where you guys think Edmonton would be
Probably about the same.
in the exact same position.
Yeah, but it does change entire games if you do score a goal here and there. So, he's not saying exactly like if those specific goals went in, like we would have won.
I think also if he built a better team around him, but I have never seen someone
But why are you taking shots at the fourth line?
as
man?
he was saying it, you already knew there was an apology coming, and I think it followed something like 4 or 5 hours later that he was already addressing an apology for these
"Oh,
comments.
shit, that's
It
not
is
what I meant."
just idiotic.
The stupid thing is that he didn't have to say this.
No, he didn't.
He wasn't prodded and poked into saying this.
Like,
he
what's
said
your problem?
this.
What's your problem? What's your problem? What's
Yeah.
your problem?
Hey,
Oh,
Tobias
well,
Reeder.
He kind of
Tobias
woke up that morning
Reeder.
and was like, you know what I'm going to do today? Throw Tobias Reeder under the bus. He's the problem on this team.
Reminds me of when Dorian wakes up to do stupid stuff.
Now, I want to read you a list of names. McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, Chason, Cassian, Nurse. What do all these players have in common?
They play for Edmonton.
That, but what else do they have in common?
Like they're solid Edmonton players that
They
aren't
are-
the trash ones.
All having career years. Edmonton is nowhere close to the playoffs. Now, we've talked ourselves in circles about this team too.
But a career year for like Cassian is not.
But a career year for McDavid, Nuge, and Draisaitl, your three
But
best
McDavid's
players.
only his fourth year.
Okay. Well, McDavid was.
Didn't he put up
in the
100
Stanley Cup
points?
He puts
final.
up a career every other year he plays because he's good. Great. He's that great, and he
Yeah,
just gets.
but
Which is
Crosby-
the problem!
And Crosby was in the finals in his 4th year, so that shouldn't be an issue for McDavid.
Yeah, but
It's-
Crosby had a team.
Well, that's the issue. That's what.
Yeah.
That is why I bring up these names.
They didn't really have defense though, so
Well, they don't have a lot of things.
when they say you can't win a cup on defense, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh did it, except they had Crystal Tang.
Ron
Morgan Riley.
Hainsey number 2. Ron Hainsey
you-
top.
he was there,
top
Can
yeah.
pick?
you even name the current Edmonton goalies?
Koskinen.
Koskinen and
Oh no, I don't remember this guy. He's weird.
AS are his initials.
it's Stolak.
Well, yeah,
Is it Andre Stolak?
yeah, but there's a Z at the end of it. Is that how you say his name?
Stolaks? I don't know.
STOLAR.
Thanks, Don.
He was a Leaf a couple of seasons ago. He played for the Marlies.
But
Yeah, so
Talking, I just thought of this thing and I pulled it up because it was super funny today. and it was posted 8 hours ago on the Spit and Chicklets Instagram, and it's this guy holding up a sign that says "Lose for Hughes," and then Jack Hughes commented on it, "Elite," and I just thought it was a great exchange. And the flag itself says "Lose for Hughes," and I was like, "Wow, what is
Joke's
this?"
on him. Colorado's gonna get him.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's an Ottawa fan.
I mean, the way I'm looking at it, optimistically, Ottawa has an 80% chance not to get the first overall pick.
That's a good way to look at it. A team that does, though, Edmonton. Guys, what is going on here? Like, it's been one thing after another. It's not that some of their best players are playing well. I mean, but you look at it, and their wingers, honestly, I'd probably have most of the Marlies up rather than the wingers that Edmonton has. And you'd think that wingers, the most abundant resource in the league, would be the easiest thing to get. Now, including onto that, Nuge and Draisaitl got hat tricks in the same night against Los Angeles. Whoopee.
It was last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last night.
Draisaitl passed
8-4 game.
Tavares, who scored
8-4?
4 goals.
8-4.
Tavares scored 4 goals, and he passed Nuge or Draisaitl for goals, and he had 45, and Draisaitl had 43, and then he got a hat trick, and now he passed fucking Tavares again, which sucks because I want Tavares to win the Rocket, but he's not going to win it. It's going to be Ovi.
Ovi's going to score like 90. Anyways.
He's at 49 now, so one more, and he's another 50-goal season.
But
He could get the Gretzky, man. He could hit that Gretzky mark.
I think he will.
I think he will too, but we've had that discussion before, and it's a
So
discussion
nuts.
for another day. But staying on Edmonton, what do you make of those quotes? What do you make of him throwing Tobias Reeder under the bus?
I don't have a lot to say other than it's a dumbass thing.
Like, he said it, and he definitely immediately went, haha, I'm fucked for later. It was probably going on his mind during the rest of the interview. He's like, I'm fucked later. Like,
It's like that thing where it's like in SpongeBob where he goes inside the brain, and the one SpongeBob goes to the other one's like, why did you say that? I don't know. I just said it. It's like, there was no reason to say it. He didn't have to say it, but yet he said it.
I just think that these quotes are the most Edmonton thing possible. Taking shots at someone who is not the reason as to why you're losing.
It's just like one
you're gonna do it
factor
anyways.
of like 100 factors.
But don't worry, because he sent Melnyk a fruit basket the next day because Melnyk took the heat off him for his back-to-back radio
was it
stint.
after
Yeah.
Melnyk's daughter was in the hospital? Because
What?
No,
What?
not Melnyk's daughter.
Ian Mendes
No.
is like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to. Wasn't it then?
What?
Wait, who was in the
What are
hospital?
you
I don't
saying?
know.
What was
What?
Because Ian Mendes sent the basket, right?
No,
But that was
Melnyk
just a
sent the
picture from a
basket
while
to-
ago.
Melnyk sent the
I'm so
basket
confused.
to Mendes 2 years ago. So I made a joke.
Oh.
that
And Ian
Nicholson-
Mendes posted that photo as a response to this, and he's like, I choose to see the best in people.
And then I said, now Nicholson will send a fruit basket
Oh.
to Melnyk.
Well, close enough. I was close.
It's all right, buddy.
There were baskets involved in both.
Yeah,
yes.
there's baskets
Baskets.
involved. I got confused.
Okay.
Why
It's same basket, different place. You know what?
Here, if
Yeah.
you want to talk about another bumbling idiot, we can talk about Don if you want.
Oh, Don Cherry.
Now, I was in class this morning and doing.
It's the Coach's Corner theme song. Anyway,
I was in class this morning doing pod prep because I'm a productive student who definitely listens to lecture.
shout out to Hal.
Now, have you ever read a Don Cherry quote transcribed? It's a painful experience.
I've watched his videos like subtitled though, so it's
No,
like the same thing.
we were having this discussion before the pod.
I-
I think that whoever does Don Cherry's transcriptions just sometimes hits his head against the
choose-
keyboard, and
Fuck,
it's,
that's probably
it's about
right.
the same thing.
I choose to read the new J.K. Rowling fan fiction.
I
of
think
Don
that's-
Cherry.
Did you know
That's
Dobby has a 9-inch penis?
Did you know that it turns out everybody reading the book is gay?
Did you know that Dumbledore and Miss
Grindelwald?
Grindelwald
Did they
had
dock?
an intense
Did they
sexual
dock?
relationship?
Did you know that Hermione was in a wheelchair the whole time?
And she was
Did
black.
you know that she was black and also she was lesbian?
Just
Didn't specify it. So I can
did-
say whatever
did
I
you meant
want.
to say-
include docking?
Yes.
I meant to
Harry
say
and
it
Ron
then.
did it
Oh,
often.
yes.
I meant to say it then, but I just forgot. So now I'm going to say it now to get more publicity.
She ran out of stuff to talk about, and now she's just like,
Okay, boys. Back
we're
to
talking about
one
Jacob.
bumbling idiot at a time. We started with you. Now we're on to Don. We can talk about JK later.
I really want to. Anyway,
So Don Cherry ripped Evgeny Kuznetsov after what was probably a very emotional moment. He scored the game-tying goal against the Tampa Bay Lightning with what do I have here? 53 seconds left in the game to tie it 4-4.
Yeah, and he was fired up, and he just.
Which apparently his daughter really likes, and I don't blame her. It's a
Kind
dope
of a
Sally.
trash Sally. I
and
don't
it's
like it.
well, it's also
Like I don't like the actual Sally, but I'm like,
no, but
okay,
that's
like,
been
you
a
can do
thing in
it.
Washington before. Like Ovi's has done that before. Like it's not a new
No,
Selly.
it's Kuznetsov's thing.
Yeah, but Ovi has also done that.
No, but he does it too. Like
Yeah,
to,
that's what I
to
mean. Like,
talk-
so it's not. It's like it's not a new thing. So why Cherry chooses now to get mad?
No,
over
he
it?
got mad at it when they played
It was 3 months ago. It
Toronto.
was 3 months ago.
Oh. I remember when they were in the playoffs against Toronto when he did it when he scored like a game-winning goal, and Don was like, "This guy has no respect. They're gonna lose to Leafs because of this guy."
2 years ago.
Well, I just
Wow.
want to read what Cherry said, and bear with me.
We'll shut
I
up.
suck at reading, but also Don Cherry is not a coherent human being. Evgeny Kuznetsov is deep in the offensive zone. Watch Hedman get the goal. Remember, kids, hockey night in Canada, karma hockey, always comes back. He's not even in the thing. He's a jerk, and he inspires the other team, kids. Remember, never inspire the other team.
I'm confused. Who's the jerk? Kuznetsov, Carolina.
Kuznetsov is they're all jerks.
Carolina.
Everyone who likes fun is a jerk.
They're a bunch of jerks.
But
bunch of jerks.
I bring this up because Kuznetsov responded to this, I believe, this morning. This morning or
What
yesterday.
did he say? It's gonna be
He
funny.
said, the way Cherry talks, it doesn't make him look good, right? If he thinks he's good, he should check his record. When he was coaching in the CHL, and that's it. He should shut his mouth.
Like you should use facts if you're gonna talk shit. Like he did coach in the NHL. Like he knows
AHL,
that.
too.
No, he coached in the NHL.
No, but he played in the like his record is not.
He was
Oh.
also not a
all in
great
CHL.
coach.
Well, I mean,
No,
he
he
did
went to the finals
yeah.
a bunch of years with the Bruins, and a lot of people liked him.
and he would have won if it
He
wasn't
would
for
have won
too
if
many
it wasn't.
men.
Yeah, that too many men penalty. Oh.
Anyway,
Anyway.
not to defend Cherry, but
He
Great-
also kind of got screwed by not playing in the NHL. Like he should have played in the NHL, but he injured himself on the offseason before he was actually going to be on the team.
how to play for Rochester. Not a bad coach, not a great commentator in this decade.
Hey, he was a great commentator back in the day.
Yeah,
when like people were racist and stuff.
1990s, hell of a time.
Yeah, but like when everybody was racist publicly.
When it was okay.
When it was okay to be publicly
Everyone
racist.
is still publicly racist. It's just the problem now.
when Twitter didn't exist, he was not bad.
But
Now he's not great.
But I mean, I think it's been a thing this year. I think
He just gets mad at stuff.
everybody goes after people who are having fun.
Well-
Brian Burke is doing it, and I don't know if this is just the start or something. I
because
haven't-
no one used to have fun.
Is it that I haven't realized it before? Or is it all starting this year?
I think it's also just a thing of Twitter
I love
amplifying everything.
My favorite
So
part
that
of this
helps.
is like it's they're a bunch of jerks when they're doing their sellies. But when Ty Domi fought a fan, that was fine.
Yeah, you know.
Watch the
Like-
lawsuit, Ty. Watch the lawsuit.
Like people used to like get in full brawl, like team versus team, like they would fight an entire team, and Don would be like,
have you?
Don's like, "Yep, that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
You wanna
good
s-
kids, like
you-
get in
you-
there."
you wanna
And then
s-
it's like, "Oh, we're doing a thunderclap. A bunch of jerks can't do that. Why?"
You wanna smash Darren McCarty's face into the boards in the playoffs? A-okay with me. You want to bring out a basketball net after the game's done?
And dunk
Get
on
that
something?
garbage out of here.
Get
Shout out-
that garbage.
Shout out to
outta
Jack Armstrong.
here. Great Raptors coach. I mean commentator. Sorry.
I don't get it, man. Why can't we just have fun? Isn't the sport supposed to be fun?
Sports are never fun. Have you been a fan?
Real fan, Declan DeBar.
Unless you're a Boston sports fan, it sucks.
Well, LA is not awful, but yeah, Boston's pretty much the only fun thing around anymore.
Like Boston wins all the time. They always win. 'Cause goddamn Pats and the goddamn what's it called? Red Sox. Everybody's good. Man. Why can't Toronto be good? We have all 4 teams except for an NFL. We don't have
Plus,
NFL.
well, you have NFC. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just really weird.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. We're not allowed to have fun. But getting back to some good old fashioned hockey, there has become a new little rivalry in the league. Drew Doughty and Matthew Tkachuk. Did you see this the other night?
I did. That was funny. He also talked shit about what's his name?
No, he praised Brent Burns. He said he should probably win the Norris, and he doesn't understand why he is not being considered.
No, but didn't Doughty say like he's not good at defense?
Yeah, no, he played both. He was like good and not good at the same time.
Like
it
he's
was
a
really
great
weird.
player, but he's not that good at defense. But he adds more to the team than he takes away, so, like, play him. Why not? But if he was a winger, he'd probably do a lot more. He was a winger, but now he's not. But
I think Matthew Tkachuk is doing his job perfectly. I really like the Tkachuk brothers. I don't have anything against them, and I think that players like Tkachuk and like both the Tkachuks, like a Kadri, like a Brad Marchand, they're the thing that is missing in this league. The league has moved so far to skill that we really don't have these skillful pests. You know what I mean?
Except for Brad Marchand. And
There's Brad and
Brad Marchand,
some of the greatest players
Kadri.
in the league.
but yeah,
But they're not as abundant as like a Tyler Ennis or something.
no, but the best player on Ottawa right now is also their biggest pest.
Yeah.
You have to if you want. No, Tkachuk.
Oh.
If you want to be a pest, you still have to score in the NHL. There's no room for you to be a pylon. You can't be.
You can't be a Matt Martin.
Well, I mean, you can.
You can. You can be on the Islanders and then play
Also,
fourth
he
line
fought
and
Chara in a
fight.
crazy-
Yeah, that was great. But we talked about that last.
Yeah, I
podcast.
know. It's
Well,
just
it's
one
so
of my
crazy.
favorite moments from the season.
It happened out of nowhere, and we were like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Not smart, but good for you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. No,
Bad
but
decision.
you need that skill. But you also being a pest is good. Like it's not a bad thing. And I think Drew Doughty, like, yes, he's kind of he's calling out Matthew Tkachuk hard, but
Also,
like, why not
I know he has a beard, but like, are we sure he's gone through puberty?
Tkachuk or Doughty?
Doughty, because his voice, a little high there, a little high.
Have you heard Jose Bautista speak?
I haven't heard Jose Bautista speak in 2 years because that's the last time he was relevant.
He's like this.
Well, he's all. Oh,
He
yeah.
used to be sick though. I have his jersey. Just gonna say it. He's awesome.
Wow, bro.
Wow.
But
You know, Owen Wilson gets paid like $100,000 like for all the times he said "wow." Someone did all the math and how much money he made for each movie. There's a meme about it. He made like so much money from each movie, and then like he has this many lines, and then they picked out how many of those words how many of all his words were wow. So they did the math on how many like 1% of his words were wow. So 1% of his salary was him going wow.
You know what I say to that? Wow.
Yeah, like what a stupid thing to look up, but it's something I needed to know, you know?
it's like you didn't know you needed to know it, but then you learned it. And
the
you were like,
more-
I needed to know this.
Yeah, it was so funny. I was like, that's
The
the,
more
best
you
thing I did
know.
all day.
The more you know.
It's like the more you know, with the
Yeah.
star coming through.
So guys, why don't we just mention that my favorite journalist in the world, Ron Burgundy, was on the Kings broadcast the other night. He also made out with a burrito. I think
I just kissed a burrito. This is the best moment of my life.
I think it was pretty damn funny. Good that LA had him on. And I mean LA's
the
Twitter
PR guy. Oh my god, that was
For
so
those
funny.
of you that haven't seen it, go back to the tweet that they posted from the loss against Edmonton, and he said if Britney Spears can survive 2007, we can survive 2018-19. A+ to the LA Kings.
Who has the better marketing department right now? L.A., Vegas, or Philly?
Whoa.
It's rough.
Or Carolina? I'll throw in them. So one of those four.
I think Carolina. I think Vegas changed their guy, so it's not the same guy.
Yeah, but they're still not bad.
Vegas's Twitter guy is my favorite.
No,
Twitter
they changed the
guy.
guy.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah, he
Still
left.
the best guy.
No, he's still.
Oh yes,
it's
yes. He
still
was
good.
the start of
That-
having fun on social
The
media.
Vegas Twitter guy is my favorite person. And then, but as trying to expand their franchise with crazy moves this year, I think as a franchise, Carolina is doing the best job.
Yeah.
But with one move, I think Philly with Gritty was the best publicity move you could have done.
I agree with you on Philly, but an important thing about Carolina is that they won 5-1 the other night, and yet every single person in this arena stayed to the end
So they
of the
can
game,
watch
so they can see it. If it was a 5-1 win or lose in Ottawa, there'd be 4,000 people gone with 5 minutes to go.
In Toronto too, anywhere else, most people don't stay for the Stars, but when you're there for the Storm Surge, everyone stays. Man, I watched a video, I was watching one of the Storm Surge the other day, and the whole arena was hyped up, and I was like, let's go! I was hyped up too, I was watching on my phone.
I tweeted it the night Don Cherry said the thing about a bunch of jerks. I hope Carolina wins the Stanley Cup and they do some ridiculous
Storm
celebration.
Surge, and they don't even pick up the cup. They just
No, they just do their Storm Surge.
Well, unfortunately,
Don Cherry would have a heart attack, and it might be. It would be hilarious.
Unfortunately, Washington already ruined the cake stands. They can't do that
yeah,
anymore.
they can't do because it's banning the cup.
Yeah. I mean,
Whip.
They'll figure
It's
something.
because Ovi's jacked, and he was
Just-
definitely grabbing onto it, and it was like making his
Just
hand
pull
imprints with those monsters.
just do something classy like Messi and bring it to a strip club. Duh. All right, do you want to do 2 trivia?
I
Yeah,
like
that-
Let's get on.
All
to
right, so
trivia.
before we do the main trivia, really quick, just broke today. The Olympic Committee has recommended 4 new sports for the 2024 games. They're in Paris at the Summer Games. What are the 4 sports they are recommending?
How is this going to work? Do we have lives or something?
Just guess.
or-
No, just guess. This is gonna be
I'm gonna
very basic
guess,
trivia.
like,
Just guess until we get all
Is
4.
esports an
No.
entire sport, or
No.
do you have to pick a game?
No, there's no esports.
Oh, really?
No.
I was gonna say like
Ping
League of
pong.
Legends.
No, ping pong's already
Already
there.
there.
It's called table tennis. Excuse me.
Rugby,
No.
Rugby's already there.
Already there.
cricket.
It is? No.
Is cricket there?
No, it's not.
Wait,
but-
so is this Summer Olympics?
Yep.
Rugby was introduced
Is
last year.
baseball
it?
is baseball already?
It's already
there?
coming back. 2020.
Okay.
Damn,
the
this is
Paris
hard. Is
game.
it a swimming thing?
There is one with involving water.
Is it? I don't know.
Is one polo?
No.
Polo's
Just
already there.
regular polo.
Polo's.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We're bad at this.
Man, I don't know sports
just-
that aren't there
Do
already.
you want me to say it then?
Hold on, say like one of them, and then we'll like work our way. Give us hints.
One is at the X Games already.
Is
Oh,
it biking?
Is it BMX?
No. No. Well, skateboarding.
Oh,
They haven't,
okay.
they haven't defined
Okay.
yet, but skateboarding. One of them you need a rope.
Rope, like ropes, like climbing.
Is it like an
Climbing.
obstacle course?
Climbing. Sport climbing.
Do they have an obstacle course?
I don't know, but it'll be like rock climbing essentially.
No.
So-
Is that one of the?
It's
Okay.
so
Is that one of the
preliminary.
sports?
Sport climbing is the definition of what they said. I don't
I
know.
was asking
The
if
other
obstacle
sports,
course
no.
was one of the other ones.
No.
What's obstacle course? What's
You just
sport?
have to do like an army
so like
obstacle course.
wipeout.
Yeah.
Wipeout is now an Olympic sport. No, American Ninja Warrior.
John Anderson here with Wipeout. All right, so that's 2. 2 more. One involves water. One of them you will never guess in a million years.
Is one of them like water trampolining or something?
No. It's even stupider.
Was it water skiing?
Even stupider.
Wakeboarding.
Even stupider.
That's water skiing. Like
Is it how long somebody can hold their
is
breath?
it a water skate
Stupider.
park?
How is it stupider than seeing how long
Okay,
somebody
so
can
the
hold
one
their
you
breath
should
for?
get, I said
How-
with
No,
water.
how quickly you can eat something in the water, or how long you can tread.
Okay, no. Okay, so one of them that you should have got, surfing.
Oh.
And then the one you would never would have guessed, breakdancing.
What?
Breakdancing.
What?
Could be coming to the Olympics.
Well, I guess like you could say that for like rhythm gymnastics, like it's like a judgment type thing. Like breakdancing can be the same stuff.
Yeah, but I never said rhythm dancing was cool or smart either. All right. Now, the main trivia where it actually matters. I got it right last week. Martin St. Louis. Now this week.
Suck my dick with
All
all due
right.
respect.
First up, so this guy, 6'2", 30 years old, born in New Canaan, Connecticut.
Tory Krug.
No. Also, New Canaan, just the wealthiest city in America per capita.
Is it?
I was just shot in the dark there. Like I had no idea.
No, the
Is
first
it
one-
Charlie McAvoy?
No, you're never.
Man, Charlie McAvoy was like 24.
Yeah, you're never supposed to get the first one. All right. This guy has a cool distinction of playing in the USHL, which is the United States Hockey League. 1 year there. He played 1 year at University of Michigan. He played 1 year in the AHL and then in the NHL ever since.
Oh my God,
Marshall,
wait.
can I ask you to reread the first
Hold on.
question?
He's from Connecticut. He's 6'2" and 30 years old. He's played in the
Michigan.
USHL,
I know
University of
Is-
Michigan.
Is it Jonathan Quick?
No.
Steve from McCann.
Man, Michigan. Like, I'm thinking of like a specific guy from that played for Michigan, but I don't remember who it was. He's like a legend. I don't remember. Oh, this is hard.
He's left wing and shoots left. That's the third question now.
Yeah.
He's left wing,
Is it
shoots
Patrick
left.
Kane?
No.
Patrick Kane's older than 30.
Oh,
And-
he also shoots right.
Yes.
And he was
He's a right
drafted
winger.
72nd overall in 2007.
It's all on you. I shot my
Two before.
22nd
T's
overall
draft.
in 2007.
I'm trying to think of like who's older than John Tavares in the league that's still good. He's a fucking Wayne Simmons.
No.
Wayne Simmons from Scarborough, Ontario.
Oh, I knew that. Oh, I'm so stupid.
All right.
That's okay. I too said Patrick Kane.
Okay, fair.
So between 2013-14 and then 2016-17, he had 30 goals, at least 30 and at least 60 points in every season, playing for one team.
Oh my God, wait, between which years?
2013-14, and 2016-17. At least 30 goals and at least 60
James Van
points.
Riemsdyk.
No.
No, Van Riemsdyk's isn't he from New Jersey?
I don't know where he's from, but I just know
The
he's
ne-
American.
The next one should be. I'll make it. This next one will be
give
easy.
me just 2 more
Okay.
seconds.
Okay.
To Mississippi.
Thank you, Seb.
I have
All right.
no clue.
After being the captain of a team for 3 years, he was then traded away and is now already the assistant captain for
Is
this.
it John Tavares?
No.
What?
John Tavares wasn't traded.
Oh my! Oh, I'm stupid.
Traded away, and he's now already the assistant captain of his new team. He's only ever played on these 2 teams.
Yo, who got traded?
Who was a
bro?
left winger that got traded? Give me.
And is a Blake Wheeler.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no, he's a captain on
Okay,
the team.
you
he's
can't
on
guess
right
again
now.
until Declan guesses.
Oh, why not? He's stupid. We should just be. If we know all the answers now, we should just be able to guess until we get it.
I
That's
have
stupid.
one more hint.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a guess.
The AHL team he played for was Hamilton.
Who got traded from a captaincy? Was it?
Oh, he's Canadian. No.
This is so hard.
This is not that hard. Think
Are
of
we just stupid?
who was the AHL team. Who was Hamilton affiliated with? Or who was it, I guess, in 2007 when he was drafted?
Man, low-key, I don't know.
Like I know it's Montreal.
Yeah.
But who is a great?
Gallagher,
No, he's from Ontario.
Drouin,
If you know it's Montreal, I don't feel bad for you
Shea
anymore.
Weber.
No, because he's Canadian and not
and
a
he's
left
also
winger.
captain, and he's also a left defense, like a right defenseman.
Wait, did he get traded to Montreal or from Montreal? No, he got traded from Montreal.
Oh,
What
Yeah,
stupid?
rip.
Montreal has just made too many dumb moves.
Well, who was their captain before?
Oh, Pacioretty.
Thank you.
I'm stupid. At least I win
Oh
though.
my god, we're fucking dumb.
I was like, who's
I was
their-
like, is it
'cause
Placanix?
I know Shea Weber's their captain, but I was like, he's been your captain for a while, right?
I
Like,
completely forgot he got
Stupid.
traded.
Oh my god.
I was making it hard at the start, and then when you guys
I
realized
thought
it
of
was,
Thomas Tatar, and I was like, nah, not him.
and then when I made it like clear it was Montreal and been the captain and now traded, I'm like, I don't
Man, I
feel bad for
legitimately
you.
thought that Shea Weber was the captain for a while, and then I was like, wait, no. Like, this is stupid. This was this year. Like, that was gold.
I'm
Oh,
so dumb.
whatever. At least I win again.
Surprise,
See, if
surprise.
if it was Declan doing trivia, like, I would have lost for sure. Or if I was doing trivia, he would have lost for sure. But sucks, buddy.
Like I try to make it. I don't know. Maybe
I think
maybe
I'm
I
still
make
in
it
the
too
lead.
hard.
I don't know how I'm in the lead. I didn't know Pacioretty was.
I don't think you're in the lead. I will check.
I'm 100% in
Marshall,
the lead.
find your booklet. And
It's
we will
with me
bring
right
you a
now.
score uplift.
You
It's
have it?
with
You
me
found
right
it?
now. Yes.
Okay, so add them. I
but
got.
I've missed like 4 weeks.
Okay, I have 2.
I have the other two.
Yes, that is right.
He didn't win for like a bunch of time.
I didn't win since like February.
That is right.
It has been a while.
It's been a time.
I'm the
bro,
best.
and this has been a time. Why don't we call the podcast right here, folks, on what has been a calm day? I think a lot of us are tired, stressed out. Exams coming up. So thank you for
Yeehaw, I have an assignment to do.
Ian is in the lead by 1.
Suck my dick with all due respect.
Thank you for listening to us ramble on for what is almost an hour. And why don't you guys have a good day? For Declan DeBarb, Ian Blumenthal, and Marshall Healy.
Let's go
Have a good night,
Duke.
guys.
Follow your hosts on Twitter at DeBarp14, at Ian_Blumenthal, and at Marshall Healy. Don't forget to follow the podcast at Real Good Procast.